I was just on my way to upload some footage about Avatar Legends, and then new trailer comes out. So I guess what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to share some tidbits of my observations here. Blue after image around him, and if you look at him right here in this one, he also has that blue after image around him. I think this is connected to the movement centric gameplay mechanic. I think they call it the flow. What do they call it? The flow system. Usually that is done as a movement based indicator. You know, this game, we don't know anything, but I wonder if this is part of the flow system. What is a flow system? A movement centric, what did it say? What the fuck did it just say? Pardon my French. Unique flow system with movement centric gameplay. The hell did you just say? Flow system, it invokes like transition from element to element, but obviously some characters will just have only one element. Some won't even have one element. You know, some will have no elements. It could be like a chaining system of moves that you can throw out, like, or is it just its own movement based functionality? Also, what the hell is Korra doing? Korra is out here looking like Sub-Zero. She's trying to kill Aang. You see Aang out here, he's cheesing. You see him cheesing, but that is a nervous smile if I've ever seen one. Korra is not laughing. Damn. So yeah, flow system. I think these two images could be Aang doing flow-based shenanigans that are like evasive properties, which brings me to wonder if is this game going to have meter? It's going to have to, right? It has supers. Is there going to be a meter based around this flow system? I hope that all of the meters are lumped into one. Personally, that's what I hope for. I feel like giving the player too many tools, it sounds good and it's intriguing on paper, but I think in actual practice, you don't give them too much choice, but you give them too much allowance to optimize, and eventually that optimization becomes universal. If you have them all in one spending economy, now you have to make some conscious decisions. Now you have to, it really evokes the player style, in my opinion. It's kind of like giving the player a skill tree, but you could just, you know, you don't have to make any decisions in the skill tree. You know, that's how I feel. Why even give me a skill tree if we're all just going to have the same skills anyway? You know, I want to make my own unique path and forge my own way. And that's kind of how I feel about this. Make sure that this is all one move from Korra anymore. Because of that, I'm not so sure that this is all one maneuver from Korra. Because if you watch it, as he's doing the backflip, there's like a ting sound effect. And you see like the after image, the blue after image kind of like just spread into dust, kind of like something was being spent. Would it be interesting if while Korra is doing the back sway onto the walks behind her, the flow state mechanic or whatever that they're toting around gives you multiple options of what to do? And again, Aang with this glider, again, we saw Aang in this previous shot, the blue afterglow, the blue after image, which I am suspecting to be the flow state mechanic. And then he can probably do this maneuver out of it. He could probably do moves out of it. I wouldn't be surprised. That would be pretty sick, wouldn't it? If Aang could just fly around with this glider, and then you just change the trajectory of where he's flying at. I would be so surprised if Azula does not have her jet boots. Legends came out with some new footage. First in full speed, and then we will slow it down. Okay, so that was a pretty sick trailer, if we don't mind me saying. There's a closed alpha coming soon. There's not that much detail about when it's happening, nor what platform it's happening on. It's probably going to be on PC only, which means I probably won't be able to get in, you know, unless I get a new computer within the next couple of months. But anyways, I feel like I should at least, you know, share some of my original opinions of me going over. I feel like I was accurate on everything. So maybe I'll find a way to sneak some of the old footage in here somewhere. But let's go over this in slow motion. So we have to go over this much slower than this. Okay, we have to go way slower than this. Okay, we have to go like, this shit goes by so fast. This game is so fast. I think a lot of people don't realize the potential that is here. I'm not saying this is like going to be revolutionary or anything like that, because that is just too impossible to call. But a lot of Avatar fans, specifically Avatar fans, who are very skeptical about this, don't realize what is happening and how it could be one of the best fighting games of 2026. But I'm just saying, but what we are seeing in here, it has great potential. Okay, so we started off, they get ready to duke it off. Forward does a forward dash. Is that a confirmation that there's dash attacks? Forward dash into a... Yeah, that's a dash attack. That's a dash because you can see the dust kick up. That's usually confirmation of a dash, and you just look at her with eyes, human eyes, and back dashes. And you see this blue after image effect. Now, I talked about this in a video that I didn't get the chance to upload. That the blue after image effect is most likely the flow system, or the flow state, I like to call it, that they are talking about, which is a movement-based mechanic, and that's all that we really know about it. So I went and did some detective work and said, I think every time you see the blue after image effect, that is the flow system at play. So we should just operate with this knowledge, because that is what we are seeing. Core starts off with a forward dash kick. Aang goes into this after image flow state, and he crushes a mid. He crushes a mid. This game is going to have a lot of crazy shenanigans. This one interaction right here tells you everything you need to know about this game. Look at this. Round one start. Round one fight. This is some crazy shit right here. He backdashes and fuck it. Okay, so let's get to the next interaction. So Aang is doing his flow state. Korra then responds with her own flow state, which hers is a backdash. I wonder if these are going to be completely invincible, or if they just, the movement itself is going to cover for that. And it's not going to be invincible. You just have to catch it. Aang also responds with another flow system. which is, I believe, his glider. And just look at, no, actually, Aang is not doing a flow state at all. Hold on, let me just watch this. Okay, I think Aang did a flow state into just a special move. I think that's what happened. But look at Korra. What the fuck is Korra doing? She launches herself up with some ice, runs forward with fire, uses fire to run forward. Alright, you see the after image on her again. She's using fire to run towards the opponent. She attacks out of it. Aang flies with his glider. And I was talking about this previously. I said, wouldn't it be dope if Aang had just changed the trajectory of his glider? And we are seeing this in live time. He's changing trajectory like it's no tomorrow. Korra, I previously wondered what EX moves would look like. Like, maybe the after image effect is just an effect of doing an EX move. I believe we are seeing an EX move right here. Korra is glowing bright blue. You'll see this multiple times in the trailer. And then you'll see a symbol pop up behind her. This is an EX move if I have ever seen one. So she launches herself up with a big water tornado type of thing. Comes down, gets anti-aired by Aang, picks up on the combo, and yeah, that's a crazy first start. That's a crazy first sequence right there. Think about that. All of that just happened was probably like this. It was what 5 seconds into the match. 5 seconds into the match, the first hit landed. Okay, so we have Zuko doing his own flow state right here, running forward with fire boosted. We also have a bit of more information about the assist characters that I called them. They may not be assist characters. If you go back to the site, it does say that the characters influence the character's playstyle and add special moves. Again, it's not exactly the clearest bit of information. I still think that the background characters are going to do something. You know, we'll see. We'll see. So Zuko running with fire boosted. Breaks out of it. You see the break out of it with the spark effects. Aang scooter stance. If you don't cancel out of it when you hit the wall, puts him in a vulnerable state. Zuko has a fucking air jumping shenanigans, and the fire, that shit hits on both sides. That hits on both sides. He does another flow state cancel. He flow states cancels into air fireballs. Korra doing her back dance again. Flow system. Create space. Does it again. Another flow system. That's the flow system into a flow. That's flow into flow. Right. That looks like flow into flow. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. And then she does another one. What is happening here? And then he does like this parry thing, and then Aang does like this combo flow thing, and then what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is some sick shit. This whole sequence right here. So Aang, I need to rewind it one more time. Never mind the fact that Korra just did the thing that I said that Azula was going to be doing. Never mind the fact that Korra is doing Azula's jetpack technique. We're just going to pretend like we don't see this right here. But that's another flow system. It feels weird calling it flow system. That's another flow state. Right. Aang has a quick to earth, a quick drop. He tries to hit Korra. Korra has this parry-like system. She has this parry-like thing. Is it just hers, or is it just a flow system? Aang cancels his jump attack into a flow state, comes back up, angles up with his glider, and goes again for another air attack. Korra flow state parries again. Aang does another one. Korra flow states out of there with a Sub-Zero slide. While Aang is trying to go for an overhead, Korra responds with the medium kick. Target combo, most likely. Aang tech rolls, Korra back jumps, catches the tech, puts him back into the corner. She says, "You live there now, and you owe me some rent. You bald sack of a bitch." She goes for it again, Aang techs again, and then he techs the throw. We're seeing some legit shit here. Don't sleep on this game. This might be the most exciting fighting game that we see in a long time. Zuko flow states into a double jump into a dive kick. Aang responds with his glider. Zuko flow states again, backdashes, super backdashes. Aang changes trajectory of his glider, forces Zuko to block his air, whatever, heavy, who knows, what, we don't know the buttons yet, into another flow state, cancel, jumps again, another air attack. Zuko is in jail right now. Ground attack, canceled into another flow state air. Zuko is holding back the block and gets crossed up. We see this, hold on, we see this green effect on Zuko right here. This greenish effect, right glowing effect on Zuko. I was going to say Gluco. This is probably a property that you can bounce them against the wall, because we will see this later on. This glowing effect is probably signaling that you can wall bounce them and potentially OTG them. They're both flow state, and Korra flow states into an EX something. He does an EX, whatever that move is. Zuko, this is so sick. We are seeing multiple chaining of different things happening in such quick, rapid succession. Korra flow states into an EX neutral skip of some sort. Zuko does his into a low profile. Responds with another flow state, cancels out of it to air fireballs. Korra does the Sub-Zero slide, which seems to be one of her flow states. Zuko does his double jump into dive kick. He does it twice. He does it twice into dive kick. We might as well just start the Zuko hate club right now. We should just start it up right now. Somebody needs to start it up. I hate Zuko in Avatar Legends. Yeah, we need to just start that up right now. This is grimy. EX up ball. Also, we see Rava in the background here. Just a smooth Rava appearance right here. Just a casual appearance by Rava. Core Sub-Zero slide goes, I don't know if that's a mid, but you know, it does go under highs at the very least. And it's not a move. You see, it doesn't make contact. It doesn't make contact, so it's not an actual attack. It's just a movement utility. Core does an EX water, whatever. Into this effect, you see Zuko glowing a greenish white. It wall bounces him. He's still glowing. Let me get that off the screen. Dive kick. Connects. It connects. Bounces Zuko back up. And potentially our first level 3. Or, you know, ultimate. Our first ultra. And the cinematic view. This is a lot of effort. You don't realize how much effort this is. Okay, we need to watch that again. Katara, Zuko, Korra, and Aang are playable in the closed alpha test. Let's just see Katara again. Katara is not moving really. She's got a real idle stance. Very, very idle. So all of that flow state canceling. I've been on the record multiple times in the past saying the best way to make a video game is to implement movement-based techniques. What is the first thing you notice when you play a video game? It is the movement of your characters. What is always one of the dopest things to find in a video game? Finding movement-based techniques, workaround, exploits. What is this game doing? It's basing a large majority of its gameplay and innovation around movement, mobility. That is so sick, and I don't think people realize that. I don't think people realize what we are seeing and how potentially outrageously sick this could end up being. Every single video game, Call of Duty, SpongeBob, Souls games, whatever games, driving games, movement, your movement of your controlled vessel is always the first thing that you notice, that you determine if it feels good or not. We don't know how this feels yet, but we do know that they are prioritizing movement. If the movement feels well, if it feels great, and they are adding this on top of it, we have ourselves a sleeping giant. This is a sleeping giant. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's got to punch really high. It's got to punch extremely high. Let's watch it back. Also, we don't. If this was round 1 fight, Korra just did an EX move right at the jump. Does that mean you're going to start off the match with meter? Or it could just be showcasing. It just could just be showcasing mechanics at play. Also, They started off doing flow state stuff without even making contact. So does that mean that you start off with flow state meter, or is flow state a free resource? A lot of questions. It seems the way that they're using it makes it seem like it's a free resource. Maybe it's a cooldown. You have a certain amount, then it cools down. Maybe it could be. It could be. We're gonna find out pretty soon because there's an alpha test. Whether or not we get to see that footage, I don't know. Yeah, either they got a big ass meter that they can just dump everything into, or the flow state is a free resource, which means the game is just going to be extremely crazy. It's going to be extremely crazy. But also, if the background, the character, the support characters, let me call them correctly, the support characters, if they are just modifiers and not actually assists, which I still think that some of them will be assist, I still think that at least one of the functions is going to be an assist. They're modifying the characters. So they're going to give you a special move. Let's go back to this right here. Can y'all see that? I'm not on the correct, thing, but you should be able to see. Support characters. Selectable support characters influence your fighting style and grant special moves. Then we have again here, unique flow system with movement-centric gameplay, right? All right, now let's go back. I want to see my May throwing knives. I don't care. I don't care. You can influence me all you want. I just want to see you throw one knife. That's all. I just want to see you throw one. What kind of influence is he going to have? What kind of modification is he going to give to your characters? What if it's going to be like, hey, you get more health, or you get more meter? Oh my god, when you start thinking about the support characters, it opens a whole new rabbit hole of fuckery. Pardon my French. It opens a whole new rabbit hole. What kind of BS are the support characters going to be having? Oh my god. Okay, let's watch it back. This is so sick, man. This is so sick. I don't care. That first, oh my god, this is like, if you like fighting games, I want to see the UI, I want to see the life bars, I want to see what type of meter we're working with, I want to see everything. I want to see how much damage is being outputted. I was going to say something, I forgot. I'll just keep watching it back. I gotta watch it back again. I wonder what core's spot dodging, whatever is going to be. Is that going to be... That could be one of the support characters' influence on your characters? It could be. If they grant you special moves, then they could very well grant you mechanics like that. Hold on. Who's that on this corner? Did they saw it? Oh, that's the dog, Naga. Right. There's some form of parry mechanic here. There is some form of parry mechanic here. How many support characters are there going to be? And I hope that the support character is giving this parry, because I don't want it to be core exclusive. It will be sick if you could just get this parry by choosing a support character. That would be pretty damn sick. That would be unbelievably sick. But if it's just a core exclusive thing, then I guess, you know, core is a high likelihood to be one of my mains, so I'm cool with it. But it would be so sick if you could just pick a support character, and if it actually functions like that, where you alter your gameplay experience by picking a support. That's like creative drugs right there. That's some creative drugs right there, man. I mean, it's been done in the past, but did he do the same combo twice? No. So see, could she have punished after parrying twice, or dodging twice? Let's slow it down. This you don't, man. This is. It's like we want your imagination to run wild. It's basically what they're saying with this trailer. And they got pro players working on the game, so this shit is legit. This shit is legit. They legit know what they're going for. I say the only thing that could potentially water down my impressions of what we are seeing is if this flow system is very easy to do. Like, I have a feeling that the flow system is going to be you just press X. I have a feeling that it's just a press X type of thing, and a direction. That's the feeling I have, right? It's going to be something similar to the unique trait in Marvel Token, which is also just press one button and a direction, and there's no problem in that. So I guess I really don't have a problem, because you still have to know when to use it, how to use it. So I think it's just something that's pretty sick. Something that's pretty sick. But I do think that it's the execution that is required could water down what we are seeing, but the implementation of it is extremely welcomed. Like, if it was too difficult, then at that point it's like, yeah, maybe you should make it a bit more accessible, because I don't want to have to learn how to knit just to try to link this combo together. But on the other hand, if you make it too easy, then it's like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything special. So there's a fine balance in here. There's a fine balance that they have to hit to make this look or feel as sick as it looks. Core starts to parry before it makes impact. You see it happen right here. You see the after image happens right here, the flow state. Maybe Naga gives her a flow state dodge. So you see it, she did it a few frames before impact. We see Aang is able to move first. So Korra's probably invincible during this period. Aang cancels into his other flow state. And we see Korra actually does a back hop. Yeah, so you can't punish. It's not something that you punish. And if it's not something that you punish, and it's something that you know, it has a decent amount of recovery, it makes you wonder, why would you want to do that in the first place? Why would you want to try to parry dodge in the first place? Unless there is a chip damage. Use our detective patch here. This time, see, parry's kind of like on the money. This thing is so slow. And then she says, let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. Zuko does a back jump. He does a... What the fuck kind of back jump was that? How did he jump back so far? Was that a back dash or what? No. Okay. Zuko starts off doing flow state. Which is a big ass diagonal back jump. Cancels out of that into some Zuko fuckery that allows him to double jump. Into a dive kick. He's going to hell. He's going to hell. Zuko is going to hell. I just want everybody to know that. Who's that in the background? You see that? Somebody poked their head out in the doorway. Or maybe that was just a glider. I can't even keep up. Okay. Do we see Korra do anything different when she has Rava on the screen? I'm gonna mute it again. When Rava hops on the screen, do we see Korra do anything different? Okay, so he starts off with her flow slide, which has no hitbox. Transitions into a water tornado. DP probably. Don't know. She breaks out of that with something else with fire. Does a wall bounce thing. And whatever the effect of that is, leaves him incapacitated where he can't tech off the ground. If we trust everything that we are seeing right now. What if there's like special combinations and like if you pick Rava as core support, it gives her access to this super specifically? If there's unique interactions where, you know, specific supports give you something potentially as grand as a super, I think that would be too much work. I'm a disbeliever in that. I think it would be so much work that I doubt that. But I'm not doubting that it's possible with the main characters, Core and Appa. Core and Appa. Yeah, those two is probably going to be an exception. That is so sick. That is so sick, man. Do you know that fighting games today hate it? Fighting games today, they hate when you play defensively. They hate when you backdash. They hate when you're able to move sideways or you're able to jump backwards. Fighting games hate your mobility because they want you to just aimlessly. They want you to aimlessly go forward. Only go forward. You're only allowed to move forward. Every modern fighting game, for the most part, is like that. They want you to go forward because they want you to give the crowd something to clap to. It's fabricated. It's fabricated in an attempt to try to create offense because they think offense sells. Just like the NBA, they think offense sells, so they make offense easier. They allow you to break more rules. They allow they make the defense harder to play. But this game, what we are seeing, we're seeing them saying, hey, we love defense. We love mobility. We want to see you combine the two because they're not directly separate. Defense and offense are not separate. They're both one and the same that can work in unison. That is what we are seeing here. Did we see anybody else do a tech roll like Aang just did? What if Appa's assist allows you to tech roll, gives you a big tech roll like that? Did Aang just do a low? Did Aang just pull a jury out here? Not really. It doesn't travel. We never see another character tech off the ground, do we? I think they hid that from us. They did hide it from us. Aang is the only character we've seen tech off the ground. That is a big ass tech roll. That is a big ass tech roll, man. She's not even like close to him and he's still like, she's not that close to him. Right, there's already space between her and Aang. She's backdashing. Also, the backdash is so stubby. Holy shit. That backdash was so stubby. Hey, wait. So they backdashed twice and got a forward dash the second time because they were trying to make up for the difference. I mean, went for the throw and he got broken. Okay. Alright. We could just sit here all day for like the next hour. All day for the next hour. That's all the time that's in the day. I think I should wrap it up right about now. I just wanted to get it out there, you know? Get it out there that what we are seeing is not normal. This has the potential to play like a fighting game that is in its own lane. And that's pretty exciting. So, yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that. And, you know, I'm just gonna keep watching. It sucks that I won't be able to play the alpha test. I mean, I probably could. It's just, I don't know how to set any of that type of stuff up. And what if I do set it up? What if I do set up, you know, Steam and PC gaming like that? What if I get addicted to it? What if I get tired, adjusted to the, you know, not having an input delay? What if I get adjusted to that? What if I find, if I adjust and I get addicted to playing without lag? I'll watch a couple videos on how to PC game. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch a couple of videos on how to set up PC gaming. And maybe I will still be able to get into closed alpha and, you know, get a feel for it. If not, we will at the very least dissect the footage that we see, and, you know, that should be fun within itself. That's just going to wrap it up for me. I hope everybody has a great day. And I bid you further adieu. Until the next time we see more footage, more news and information about Avatar Legends, catch y'all on the flip side. May peace be with. Always keep your heads up. This is Those Posts. Ideals, stay cool. And if you like this content, be sure to show some love, but always be sure to show that love to the people who matter to you. ITOwl bidding you farewell, peace, much love, and stay cool. Deuces.